Donaar Blitzen is a slot 2 support slash buffer and healer. He is pretty competitive with a Celeste if you're new, but I will say Celeste has the advantage of being a core champion and can receive constant upgrades. Right now, if you look at my Celeste gear, it's in like the 600s or so, whereas Donaar's is in the, we'll say 100-ish. She provides, for me, about 5 times more than Donaar, but the fact that he's awfully competitive with the buffs means that you can pretty safely use him and not miss out on too terribly much, especially if there's a variant. But let's go into who he is. He is a Dragonborn, who is a part of the Acquisitions Inc. C team, along with Kthris, who is a more recent champion. And his mechanics are, whereas Celeste heals people just in front, every second he will heal the champion that has taken, or that has the least amount of health, or that has lost the most health, which is on a percentage basis. And he will heal them, and it's a heal over time. So he can heal. He can have, if everyone's getting hurt, he can have a heal up for everyone, assuming they're the most damaged. Anyway, so that's his healing side. And then he also leads by example. So he will increase the damage of all champions in the same column, as well as champions behind him. He's a very charismatic, and I think he's also egotistical. So he's like, oh, look at me, I'm the best one. So he's gonna, lead by example. So you, much like Celeste, want him up near the front because that's where your tanks are generally gonna be, as well, or that's where your damage is gonna be, because sometimes the tanks have positional requirements like Nayeli. So he does have a bit of flexibility, like your damage could be further away, but they certainly can't be behind. I've already covered damage or buffing output, but there's a unique mechanic on why he's useful. So if we go to his specialization, he uses his command ability to give people one of 4 buffs. He can make them, let's see. You know what, we'll cover the specialization and then we'll go to the thing and see what they actually do, because I am forgetting one. So there's his, oh yeah, where essentially it buffs his command and says, okay, he's going to do everything that it is, but better. It's still single target. Whereas the everyone cool out affects everyone in a small area. Picking wise, that's up to you. I would say the default would be everyone cool out unless you're trying to do a boss stun farm, and then I would use his oh yeah. So we'll just pick that because he's not going to be used too much. Get some more buffs. And then move over here. Okay, so. Nope, not there. Oh, okay, right. So command, right, his base attack. He targets a random enemy, and he could do a random command. Where would that be? Okay, well, I guess I'll just go off of memory. He can make them drop more money, which lasts the whole time until they die. He can push them back. I think he can stun them, and he can slow them, maybe? I really should know that. You know what, maybe it said, if I had just read it, here. So let's see, hold command for 2 seconds. I believe that's a stun. Flee makes them push back. Fear makes them take more damage. That's what it is. And then drop, as in they'll drop more money. There you go. That's all, the whole kit and caboodle. Great. Oh, cool. You can unspec them. Ooh, that's interesting. Interesting. Okay. So, Donaar, pretty respectable. He has a high strength, so he can definitely be used for a cron formation because survival of the fittest and all that. He's not evil, but he's strong. And his ultimate attack, he just vomits up an acid pit or an acid pool, and that will deal damage to anyone walking through it, standing in it every second. pretty good for what do they call them? Blobs, health blob type bosses or enemies. So it's like, oh, this boss just has to get hit 50 times. And as long as they're standing there, it's tick, tick, tick on top of everyone else hitting them. Very efficient. But that's it for Donaar Blitzen. He is pretty good. He also has a really cool costume because that's his Yum Yum. His other one is just, you know, the normal, like, oh, look at me. But obviously I gotta do the costume stuff. So that's it for Donaar. Whoops.